Hey everybody! Welcome Ben Yim to our show. This is the Jungle's Lair Business Podcast, and it's an interview. So welcome to the show, Ben. Can you tell us a little bit yourself?
Thank you for having me. So I've been an entrepreneur in the health niche for 10 years. Yeah, and been working online mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very long time, 10 years. That's a very long time.
That is a long
So
time.
can you tell me what made you start entrepreneurship?
I think I got tired of like the corporate life and climbing the ladder and being like an immigrant child. Is it's actually very hard to get into mainstream.
Right.
Like no matter whoever says how diverse it is, there is that glass ceiling where they do want like mainstream people in the higher up executives. And yes, there is like that one ostrich token Asian person or like
who's
diversity.
Who's very westernized.
Right. So there is that one token person, which again, as a immigrant child, like it's very hard to get into that corporate higher up executive.
And that wasn't you.
No, and I can't see myself playing the politics right, saying everything politically right in terms of, like just normal conversations. So if anything you said something wrong or politically not correct, they'll mental note that. And no matter how hard you work, you'll just be there. And in the corporate, they won't move anyone who's hardworking.
Yeah.
Because like if you're hardworking, why would they move you? You might as well stay put and be the hardworking cow.
Wow.
So like being because I came from a banking background.
Yeah.
So I work in the corporate banking.
It is a wealth program, right?
Right. I would say I guess
you don't have to be shy. You can just tell them your biggest success.
Biggest success would be financial freedom and like location freedom.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, tell them about it. What is location freedom and what is financial freedom to you?
To me, it's just like not worrying about like just daily life and like being able to know because being an entrepreneur, you don't know when the next money is coming in. Like there's no guarantee. But building like the foundation and having that kind of security again.
Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur, knowing that there's money coming, knowing that whatever you built, the system that I built is stable, that can feed me,
right,
and have like a good life. Where living in Vancouver is expensive, but like able to just maintain that lifestyle and be able to do it anywhere I want.
Okay.
So like just traveling, just still not being trapped in one location, one city. I think that's where my definition of success was.
Okay, so can you expand on that? Just go in more detail.
Like how?
Like what exactly is it? It's very mysterious right now. It sounds like the freedom, the desire that everybody wants. But what is it?
It's just traveling. Like I like the freedom of just traveling.
I mean, your business.
My business is in health, like health and wellness and nutrition.
Because the way that we met is we met through a common friend.
Right.
And we were having Chinese food for dinner. That was the most delicious Chinese food, by the way.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of internet entrepreneurship.
Right.
You were selling online.
Yeah.
You were creating content.
Yeah.
You have over 6 figures in, I think, over a couple 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
So that was huge. So tell me about that. What would you think cost you to be a successful entrepreneur?
That's a very good question. I think the grit is very important. Like the grit of just not giving up and still going at it day after day when you might not see anything. Like I would say the first year it was really tough. I did not, because coming from a banking background into the wellness, I had no wellness background, no health background. My university degree was in education, so like totally different niche. But then, like the first year was really hard. A lot of learning, a lot of just perseverance, going at it, no matter because you don't see any success at all, and it's just like a pitch dark road.
Tell me about that pitch dark road. How do you get through it? Do you see a light on the end of the tunnel, or was it just pure darkness?
Pure darkness.
You had blinders on, and
Pure
there's
darkness.
no light. You're like,
Pure
guide me.
Pure darkness. Pure darkness, I would say, for a
Right.
good 6-8 months.
Okay.
I would say like giving up is always in the back of my mind,
Yeah.
but it's always a choice where I already gave up my corporate job, like for this lifestyle.
Let me just ask you. Most people in the audience,
Right.
they would start a side hustle first,
Yes.
and then they would quit their job.
Yes.
Once the monthly income is bigger, higher,
Yes.
or maybe matches their monthly expenses.
Right.
But you did a total reverse. You quit your job, and then you become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I think it was just a leap of faith, and
Yeah.
I think during that time I had more of like I was young, like I was way younger. I was in my
Right.
20s,
Obviously.
Yes.
10 years ago.
and I felt like I had nothing to lose
Right.
because like I can always go back to a job. But I don't suggest that, to be honest, because it creates a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Like too much uncertainty, and I feel like if you need to start an entrepreneur road, you don't really need to say, "Oh, I quit my full-time job." It's good to have a full-time job, but the thing is, having a full-time job, you're more likely to be tired.
Mm-hmm.
No, you just have so many excuses once you get off at 5, and
Yeah.
and you're less likely to pursue. But if you have like a fire under your ass and say you have no money, you gotta generate some money, right? So like for the first 6 to 8 months, I was just living off savings. Like,
Okay. Were you fearful? You
oh
were
shit, yeah,
watching the savings depleting
Yeah.
every single month, right?
totally. Like because there's expenses.
Yeah.
There's, even if you like I lived in a minimum everything, like not spending, not going out, and it's still hard. But it's the I ask myself every day, like, is this really what I want? Is this really like worth it? At the end of the day, like if. But I have to kind of brainwash myself, like this is going to be worth it. This is going to be.
So take it back. How do you brainwash yourself every day when you were not having enough money?
Right.
You didn't have any income coming in. It's all expenses going out every single day. You don't have the safety net of a corporate job.
Right.
What do you say to yourself?
I think I leverage a lot of like other people's success and a lot of like videos and.
What do you mean by that?
So I would look at other entrepreneurs or other people who've done it, and I listen to their stuff. Like I just brainwash it with their success and their stories, and using their light to shine some kind of light in my dark tunnel, and hoping
Hoping that it would light the dark tunnel up, but it's still so dark, right?
Yeah. But again, I feel like saying that you still need to do like you need to know if whatever you're pursuing is even like viable. like you don't want to jump on some platform and like if there's no hope and you're like, oh, listen to this and like whoever said hang in there for 8 months, and I think the platform needs to prove that it does make people some kind of money, whatever platform you choose to be in. And yeah, so it has to be a proven platform first. If it's not a proven platform, then you're just jumping in blindly.
So let me ask you, how do you find the proven platform?
I think finding a mentor or someone who's done it already, and you see someone who's in that field and in that platform, and you see that person that is where you want to be, then I think that's a good gauge. And at the same time, like really understand is the trend there, right? Is there opportunity there? Will it renew itself? Like, are you too late to it? Like, will you develop the skills to be good at this area? So I think all that, like, I didn't know any social media. I started from zero. I didn't have any following.
Right.
But I knew that back then, like, I didn't like to do one-on-one. Like, I didn't believe.
What do you mean you didn't like to do one-on-one? You mean one-on-one sales. Like what I did.
I don't.
So hey, I'm gonna throw down a challenge right here. I'm gonna throw down a challenge for this year. I bet you $1,000.
Yeah.
If you hit 100 doors in one day, I'll give you $1,000. You just have to talk to probably like 40 people
Right.
and sell the product.
Yeah.
Will you do it?
To do knock on doors.
Yeah. I'll give you a map, a territory, and say I'll give you $1,000 cash. I'll bring cash.
Yeah. To knock on doors and
to knock on doors. You know what I'll do? I'll give you $1,000 in $1 coins in like a huge bag, and I'll make sure the bag has a dollar sign on it.
I don't know. I feel like.
Would you do it?
Would I do it for $1,000?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Can we make a video out of it? Can we like free content? I'll decide what you sell.
You decide what I sell.
Yeah, I decide what you sell.
Oh my god. I'll have to see what it is, because if it's like a shitty product, then I don't know if it's even worth it.
You just have to sell it.
This is the point where I'm saying, like, if the platform, if the thing is even worth like doing it. If you're selling a Teletubby, like, it doesn't matter if you're selling $1,000 or like you're selling $10,000. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna let you sell a $1,000 computer for $20. Okay. That does not make sense.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, it has to be like, it brings value to people, and people want it.
So the interesting part is, instead of selling one-on-one, going down my path, you wanted to sell to the masses. You want to sell to more people.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you sold one-on-one before?
Yeah.
You have, right?
Yeah.
What would you say is the ratio? Let's say out of 1,000 customers, how many of them do you sell one-on-one, and how many of them do you sell via webinars, online, telephone, or one-to-many?
Like the ratio-wise?
Yeah, ratio-wise.
I would say maybe like 20% is like one-on-one, and then other
80% is the big online sale. Okay, so let me ask you this: what would you say is the biggest difference?
One is always there and is searchable. So I believe in SEO.
Yeah.
Search engine optimization, and that's why I make all my content that's searchable. Solving someone's problem. I mean, like, everyone now, if you have a problem, you go on to Google and you type it on, right? And you'll find solutions.
Right.
And that's what I made. So I wanted to be the solution of your problem.
Yeah.
Let's say you can't sleep, then I want to be the solution of helping you sleep.
And you want to rank number one.
True, yeah. So it's not just by one piece of content too. Like, I make like probably like 10 to 20 piece of content based on solving your sleeping problem.
So how many solutions are there to my sleeping problem?
There's only one, but there's so many ways of wording it. There's so many ways of optimizing the SEO so that whatever you search will land on me. So then, one, I'll build credibility. Second, you'll see maybe this is the solution to your sleeping problem, right?
Okay.
So that's why I feel like a video or social media would build more, like, credibility.
Right.
Instead of knocking on your door. Like, imagine if I can knock on your door like a million times and you said no is no, right? But then if you're able to search things around this topic and you always see me somewhere around those search, that you don't get to say no. Google just put me in front of you.
Yeah.
So to me, like, knocking doors, but if I want to sell to you, you might just say no to me 5 times and you probably blacklist me and you probably like make sure you don't get in front of my door anymore, right? But with internet and social media, you don't really get to block me out. Like, as long as I create content around your problem, Google or the search engine will put me in front of you to solve your problem.
Yeah, I think we go back to it. It's the basics of finding a problem. With sales, it's the same thing. We call it a need.
Yeah.
A need is the same thing as a problem.
Yeah.
Except a need is when you have a desire to do something, right? So when you do the SEO, you're putting yourself in front of people with a need, potential problem. They have that desire. Now, let me ask you this. How do you rank on SEO today?
How do I rank on SEO?
Yeah,
like personally, or what
do you personally do? Because before it was pretty easy.
Right.
There weren't a lot of competition, especially with tail keywords. But today, a lot of people are getting into business.
Right.
There's huge layoffs right now in the tech industry. There's like 180,000.
Right.
The last time I talked to somebody. And just imagine they don't have a job. They want a side hustle or they want a full-time hustle. They gotta go do something. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are going to use the internet, either Amazon FBA, Shopify, or SEO, social media marketing, as a way to generate income. So how would you still rank the same problem if you were to start today?
Niching down.
How far down do you niche?
Very niche now, like very,
Yeah. So, for
very
example,
detailed. Like
sleep is a problem for me. How detailed would you be?
sleeping, sleeping problem for, let's say,
Toddlers.
men that are in their 30s, like
Right.
that tried sleeping pills and yoga. Like I'm getting very niche down, right?
Wow, that's pretty niche.
But that's what I mean, right? But like after you niche down, I feel like you have to like create shit ton of content in that
And
particular
then you have to
niche.
niche up.
Yeah, so you have to go up. So once you go down, you have to go up that way. So I'm just serving that group of person. Like I'm just talking to you. That's it. No other people. If you're not men in your 30s that try yoga and sleeping pills, then you're not my demo.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like 30s, try sleeping pills and yoga or meditation, whatever, right?
Right.
Then you're like, oh yeah, that's me, right?
Yeah.
And those group of people were more likely to relate to what I have to say and what I have to present,
Okay.
and more likely, I'll hit the point. I'm like, screw yoga, screw meditation. It doesn't work for you. You've tried 2 pills and you're still looking in the ceiling at 3 a.m. But guess what? There is a way for you to sleep like a baby
Melatonin.
by 10 p.m.
What is it?
So
Getting knocked on the head.
So I got your attention, right?
Right.
So if you're those people who suffered those things already, it's all about copy as well, I feel like. So I have to really talk to your pain point and then to hook on to the pain points that you've tried already, and then offering that want that you want,
Mhm.
and saying if that's someone, if that's you, click the link or watch the next video or
Let me
something
ask
like
you.
that.
So, in today's SEO world,
Right.
how do you go in and define the problem?
I don't think we need to define the problem. The problem is always like the problem and desire is always there. You just need to find the right one that you have the solution for, and then from there you just want to offer value to them,
Mhm.
and then from there you have a offer, and then they're more likely to buy. So no matter if it's like a supplement or a course or I don't know, like anything you want to sell them.
Yeah, I mean, for example, you talked about sleeping problem
Right.
for men in their mid-30s who have tried yoga that didn't work.
Right.
That's a very niche keyword problem to have,
Yeah.
right? So how do you come across that? How do you find that?
Google.
Oh, so you use Google
Yeah.
Trends, for example.
Yeah. Google
And then you
Trends,
just
keywords,
Keyword
trending.
trending, and
There's a lot of like programs that gives you keyword search, not just like there's a lot of programs.
so you do a keyword search first.
Yeah.
So let's say if you're in the health niche and then you niche down, you figure out, should I be in sleeping niche or should I be in losing weight
Yeah.
or should I be in curing nearsightedness?
There's so many.
There's so many, right? And then you figure that, and then you niche down. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
let me figure out the sleeping niche who are for men 35, and maybe that keyword is very competitive, and then you niche down more
Yeah.
until you get to a keyword that's not very competitive, but there's still a market,
Exactly.
and then you start building products for that kind of people.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I think that it's all about
Mhm.
solving problems with
Right.
with a right angle. Then you'll find your buyers.
Okay. Can you give me an example of that? What do you mean the right angle?
Just like how like pain points.
So you find a pinpoint,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I have this brand name melatonin for you.
Yeah.
And this melatonin is made by holy water from Italy,
Yeah. Something like that.
from the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed to pass out.
Yeah. It has to speak to them. It has
Yeah.
to speak to that demographic where they really it's like, oh, that's me.
Right.
That's what I want. Oh, where can I get it right
Yeah.
now? So that you're hooking on that desire, or you're just kind of like flaming the desire, and then when the desire is right, they will just give you the money.
Okay. So let's shift gears. Now, going back to your story again. Okay. You were saying that you went through the darkest tunnel
Yeah.
and you came out of it. What happened next?
What happened next? I think looking back is celebrating. I don't feel like I celebrated enough in terms of getting out of the tunnel because I think that part is very important. Because if we don't celebrate or I didn't celebrate enough, it just feels like that tunnel didn't end.
Can I ask you, how do you define getting out of the tunnel?
I think everyone is different, but defining
What's
it
your definition?
by at least having seen some money.
Let's say $1. Have $1 coming in,
Well,
and
more
then $10 coming in.
Like more than that, maybe like you finally found your way of like selling that product that I have to offer, right? And then it proves itself that there is that market. I finally found that demographic that. So then you see the money coming in, then it's more likely it works.
Getting traction.
Yeah.
So you started something. It was through the tunnel. It was really dark. You couldn't find what the demand is. And by having money coming in, you found traction.
Yeah.
And when you talk about celebrating, what do you mean by not celebrating early enough?
I feel like I didn't celebrate where I just kept on going, and then but I think celebration on the success really helps your mental like clarity and like I actually made it happen, right? And it reveals the passion, it reveals the motivation to keep going on.
Okay, can you go in detail about that? Let's say, what happened? How come you didn't celebrate it? And how did that impact your passion and your mind?
I think I didn't celebrate, and it affected me to burn out way faster. Like, although I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and I ran to the light and just keep going, but then I didn't celebrate so that I didn't feel like that was a light. It just felt like I was running, and
Okay.
I just burned out really quick right afterwards.
So when you burned out very fast, very quickly, what was it like? What do you do when you get burnt out? Do you stay down for a day or so, or do you just have a distaste and disgust for work? You just don't want to do anything, and you just end up partying, or like what do you do?
Because I didn't celebrate, I didn't really acknowledge that it was a success. And then I just kept on going. It made me burn out way faster. And at that burnout stage where I should have went even faster, I was out of gas already.
How do you burn out?
What do you mean how bad?
Like what do you do when you burn out?
I just need rest. I just can't work anymore.
When you get burned out, you just sleep for 24 hours?
I couldn't work anymore. It was just too much. Like I just can't. No, I just need rest.
And you just sleep?
Just turned off. Like,
what do you mean rest, turn off? Like, what do you do? Like, do you do yoga? Do you not do anything? Do you sit on the sofa? Do you read a book? Do you play video games, or do you watch some YouTube videos? Netflix
I think it's
binges?
all the above.
So when Ben burns out, he binges on YouTube. He then binges on Netflix. He then drinks the whole time, parties the whole time, and then he rests and sleeps.
Yeah, but during that time, because I think I was supposed to go faster, because I was out of gas. Like I didn't stop for the gas station.
Right.
Like if I saw the gas, let's say the light was the gas station, but I didn't stop to repump. And I just thought, oh, I'm not at empty yet. I can still go. And I didn't think of, oh, I'm just at the starting point. Like looking back, the light is only the starting point.
So let me ask you, for the audience here, what would you recommend as a set of tangible steps to do when they're going through the dark tunnel of entrepreneurship?
I think it's very important to have a balance still during that dark tunnel side in terms of your physical and your mental state. That's why you see a lot of entrepreneurs saying like meditation or like workout or just being in nature helps a lot, no matter how big your company is.
Like this. Be in nature.
I think all that really helps with the mental, because I think at the end of that day, like entrepreneurs like mental game. I don't think it's more of a physical thing. It's all in the mindset. If your mind's not there, then you're more likely to burn out or easily to be focusing on the negative side. Then it's all the mindset, right?
Yeah.
But if your physical and your mental state can stay like intact during that dark tunnel stage, then you're more likely to keep on going and going and going. Like as much as it sounds silly, like the process is actually very important. Like obviously the end of the tunnel is important, but like the process, make sure you're still in one piece. You know, you don't want to burn. You know.
Yeah, you don't want to get there in 5 pieces.
No. So I think that's like looking back. Like even now, I no matter what, I keep my physical and my mental very intact.
Would you say that if you were to do it all over again,
Okay.
you would focus more on taking care of yourself than to take care of the business?
I'm not sure I understand.
I know you don't understand.
I think it's a balance. Like a balance of both.
Let's be specific. When you say balance, do you mean 80-20 work, rest, or 60-40, 30-70, 10%? What do you say?
80-20 maybe?
80-20.
Yeah, as long as it's not like, 9 to 1.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think everyone's different. Like everyone's feeling or, able to take stress is different.
You know what I realized? I discovered that recently something has been on my mind a lot. The hustle culture. Everyone's talking about it. There's all these motivational speakers talking about it from 20 years ago. And then there's the Gary V's, the David Goggins, okay, Jocko Williams. All these guys are talking about hustle. Every day you need to be hustling. Every day you need to be hustling. And you know what? I freaking hustle, man.
Right.
I fucking hustle. If you want to hustle, we hustle.
Yeah.
But here's the thing coming out of it. When you're hustling a lot, you do realize that you have blinders on.
Right.
You're not looking at anything else other than what's in front of you.
Right.
That could benefit you, and it also could destroy you.
Okay. Yeah.
I noticed that when I was doing sales, I did very well. I did very good. I made a lot of money, closed over 9 figures in my decade as a real estate entrepreneur. But what I realized is I was so focused on the tunnel vision, on generating sales, door knocking. There's all these millions of other ways to build a business. And I wasn't focused on those. It wasn't in my mind frame.
Right.
I could have made more, added more zeros, but you know what? I'm pretty happy where I was with.
Right.
But I'm just talking about the hustle nature, the message where you have to hustle so hard every single day. You don't sleep. You have to wake up at 5 a.m. It's overrated. It's totally overrated. You know what's underrated? Being smart about decision making. Being rational. Let's say if you have 3 choices, okay? And you try to figure out, okay, what's a better choice right here? Let's say it's for a color for a product. Would it be blue? What does blue what does blue say about this product? Is it yellow or is it orange? Like, what is better? What would deliver the message better? How should I say this thing better? It's actually those thinking times.
Right.
Even though you're still working, you're not hustling, you're thinking about the product.
Right.
And sometimes when you talk about going to work, your brain is so powerful, it works by itself. You know, when you take a problem to bed, most of the time, try this if you haven't tried it at home. You have a problem, you take it to bed, next day you wake up, most likely you'll have an answer.
Yeah, that's the subconscious mind.
Subconscious mind. You let the subconscious mind work. So why do you want to hustle so hard when you can relax or rest your mind more and you can think of way smarter ways to do things and with much greater leverage?
I think it's a alignment. Like Bob Proctor always talked about.
Yeah,
Like
it's a balance.
it's about the
Mhm.
using your subconscious mind to help solve your problems. And when we just focus on hustling, we're using the conscious mind only, but the actual like
Mhm.
alignment comes from the subconscious
Exactly.
mind.
Exactly. So it works hand in hand.
Yeah.
So going back to what you were talking about, we talked about your past. So what about now? Where are you now? Mentioned that you're pretty happy. You're financially free. You're living. You have locational freedom. You're living the life you want. Tell us about that.
What do you mean?
No, like tell us about that. Like your everyday life. You know, like what do you do currently, present day? What's a day in Ben Yim's schedule like?
So right now I'm really focusing
How's your business?
on
What projects are you working on?
focusing more on content creation.
Okay.
Because I feel like content is always providing value and branding.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, I focus a lot more on building my branding, just my social media presence. And because as that grows, it helps grow my brand and my just credibility in terms of my clients, how they look at me. And that actually brings a lot like other opportunity as well. So that like brand deals and like yeah. So now like other companies see me as an influencer, which
So
I
you're an
never
influencer.
I never thought of being an influencer, but like just in making that slowly became an influencer.
So let me ask you. So you have a couple 100,000 following you on TikTok
Yeah.
right now. What's your process for creating content, getting those followers, and getting engagement?
So I used to do
Tell me.
I did 3 months of every day, 3 short form video consecutive 3 months. So 3 per day for 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and that blew me up.
What were the contents?
On my niche, so health niche. So health niche, solving problems, giving value, but you have to be really consistent.
What, like, can you talk about your niche? Was it
Health,
I know, but like when you niche down, was it sleeping
gut-
problems?
gut health. So I focus
Okay.
mostly on our gut
That's
because
pretty niche.
yeah,
Mm.
because our gut controls how happy you are,
Yeah.
how well you sleep, how fat you get, and your immune system. 90% of your immune system is your gut.
Wow.
90. So if you want to be strong, be good at stopping the virus, you need to take care of your immune system, and 90% is in your gut.
For all the audience who drinks a lot, how would they take care of their gut?
Have less sugar.
So don't drink the sweet pineapple juice mixed with
No.
alcohol.
It's always vodka soda.
Yeah. Or tequila.
Sure.
Drink shots.
Sure. But yeah, your immune system is controlled by your gut. Your happy hormone, 90% of it is in your gut as well. It's not in here.
Okay.
Your gut is your second brain. So that's why I focus on the gut. So I
Interesting.
always focus on the gut, and I just gave a lot of content, and that just blew me up. And I'll always have a lot of engagement. Like, reply to your followers, reply to your comments. Don't be a snob, like, oh, that was a dumb comment. Oh, that's just a heart. Oh, that's just like I wasn't being a snob. I was just very thankful that they actually engaged with me, and I actually talk to them in the comments, and then ask them questions, and then see if which point resonated with them, and then from there I took content. They would leave some comments, and then I'll use their comments to make another video. So it kind of just snowballed out. But during those 3 months, I didn't stop. That's the only focus I did, and then that really blew me up.
Let me ask you, how many hours were you focused on creating the content, distributing it, editing it, and responding? When you say shit ton, you mean
like pretty much the whole day, because 3 videos, although it's like a short content, like within 2 minutes.
Yeah, so 30 seconds, 60 seconds per video, right?
30 seconds to 2 minutes.
2 minutes per video, okay.
So that's like what? 3 times 2, that's like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
But you still need to edit it, caption it, cut it, all that.
Were you the main actor, or was it more of an infographic?
No, it's all me. So
it's all you.
So during the first period, it's all me. But now I batch it. So I batch like a whole month worth in maybe 3 days.
Okay.
So I'll sit in one setting, I'll film for the whole day, for the whole month, and then I just batch it. And then I edit in one day, film in one day, and then post in one day.
So would you say that if you had started brand new account again, would you use this strategy over filming every single day strategy?
Yes and no. For people who are not really good at social media, I would say that they need to have that practice first. So like practice makes perfect. So do it on a regular base, maybe not every day, but maybe like 3 times a week, and then batch it in those 3 days, and then do it like per week like that. And then when you get very comfortable, then do it in like months worth of batches. So now I do like 1 month batch,
Wow.
1 month batch, and then once you get really good at that, I outsourced it. So I only film because I'm the only like talent, right?
Yeah.
Other stuff is outsourced. Like, just it could be very cheap. Like I hire my team all in like Middle East.
Okay.
But
Interesting. That's the first thing I heard. The first time I heard Middle East, mostly it's the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, India.
Middle East is the best.
Really?
They're smart.
Yeah. I've been to Morocco. I've been to Egypt. They're intelligent.
They're smart and they're fast and
they're aggressive too.
They are very aggressive.
Very motivated.
Yeah. So my editing is done in Middle East. I don't post my own stuff now. I outsource that as well. So I have a VA that does that.
Right.
So I'm the only one who's creating content. So I think if like again, that requires a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're just starting right now, maybe not the best choice, but it should be something that is down the road.
Let me ask you, how much expenses? Let's take your business,
right.
Okay? How much revenue is generated through your content versus from other sources?
I say right now it's mostly
100%.
I wouldn't say 100%, like 80-20.
80-20. So 80% is generated through your content, organic content.
Yeah.
What about are you buying ads?
Yeah.
So 20% is from your ad revenue, right?
No, so ads I would say it was still from the
from the 80%.
Yeah.
What's the other 20%?
Referrals.
Oh, okay.
So word of mouth.
Word of mouth from the people that have done business with you in the past.
Or my current
current
clients.
Okay, I see. But your current client came from contacts.
Not all of them. Like some of them are still they know me. They have this problem and they need to solve this problem. They just want to try it.
It's pretty interesting because you started off adding oil to the flame,
right?
And you build this incredible content machine. It took you 3 months to build, and once you finish building it, you contracted it out, you automated it. So now you just film for a day, you edit for a day. And you can spend the other 28 somewhat days working on the business, expanding your business, or just live like a free soul.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I think we're almost at the time. So if you can tell the audience how you did it in 2 sentences, what would you say?
2 sentences about what, like the whole business?
Yeah, about the whole business, what you done, advice for the young, for the next generation. 2 sentences. Maybe I'll give you one more. 3.
Stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And well, this is hard. 3 sentences. Is this like a usual thing for everyone?
Usual thing for everybody.
Stay consistent and keep learning.
Mm-hmm.
And take massive action.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching the Jungles Lair. Sorry. Hey, thank you for watching the Jungles Lair podcast. Thank you for watching the Jungles Lair business podcast.